What's poppin', people? It's your boy Eric Drill back with another Magic Arena video, and today I wanted to check out one of the new decks that I just built a couple of days ago. I'm calling it Jeskai Narset, but just because I'm running Narset to try it out. But really, this is a Whirlwind of Thought deck. Whirlwind of Thought is 1 blue, red, white for an enchantment. It says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you draw a card. So this deck is loaded with a bunch of non-creature spells. The big one in this deck is definitely Inspired Ultimatum, which, if you've never cast it, it's the best feeling in Magic, really. You kill something, you gain life, and you draw 5 cards. With Whirlwind, you draw 6 cards on one of these casts. Also, in the 6-drop slot, we have Boon of the Wish Giver, which often you just cycle this, but it can draw you 4 or 5 cards if you have Whirlwind out. Whirlwind is even good in multiples because it'll draw you multiple cards, and you draw so many cards in this deck that a friend of mine is like, hey, why don't you just include Jace in case you just draw your entire deck, which I have done, and I've won with Jace on the battlefield just by drawing my entire deck. So let's just break this deck down a little bit. So my main win con in this deck is Sprite Dragon. You just play so many non-creature spells that gets pretty big pretty quickly, and he's a flying haster, so he always gets in a little bit of damage at least. And then I have Rodan, which is great to, this is Valduk, Vadruk. Vadruk? Yeah. Apex of Thunder. And he'll let you recast Teferi or Narset or whatever, or Deafening Clarion from your graveyard. Because it says you can cast a non-creature spell with converted mana cost 3 or less. Which initially I thought it said instant or sorcery, but you can cast 3 mana Planeswalkers, which I think is just nuts. I have 1 Narset in here. There were more, but I just needed to make room for different stuff, so I kind of cut down on her. Good against control because they can only draw 1 card, and then together with her and Teferi, just really limits control decks. And Teferi is just good up against a bunch of decks in this format, so. And this is standard best of 1. I haven't built a sideboard for it yet. So some of the other Planeswalkers, again, I mentioned this Narset, or the Spark Narset, and Teferi, of course. And then we also have 1 copy of Jace, just to draw into in case the game is going long and we need a way out if we've drawn a ton of cards. Also, we have Narset of the Ancient Way, different Narset. She can let you discard an ultimatum or Boon of the Wishgiver for just massive damage on a creature. Also, she gains you some life and adds mana, which is nice. And I've never ultimate her. I haven't ultimate her yet, but I assume that just playing Ops and Lava Coils and all this stuff, the damage adds up quickly. That's cool. And then Rail, Storm Conduit, he's in this deck mainly just to copy Inspired Ultimatum or Boon, because who doesn't want to gain 10 life, deal 10 damage, and draw 10 cards, which I have done, and it's wonderful. I've actually discarded a lot of cards in this deck because I don't have any way to have increase my maximum hand size, so. But your hand is just going to be stacked with just non-creature spells and stuff, so you don't really mind discarding much. And then I have Sarkhan because there's a lot of Planeswalkers in this deck, and this deck is sort of like a Super Friends deck-ish, although it's not the main plan of the deck. But he's super good. He just makes dragons, and Sprite Dragon is a dragon, which I have gotten people with they've attacked with their 1/1s, and then they're like, oh, you have Sprite Dragon, and just like board wipe them. I'm also trying a copy of Mythos of Vadruk. Okay. This card's been pretty good, and if you hit Planeswalkers, they can't activate their loyalty abilities, which has been frustrating for some of my opponents. And it's like a mini board wipe, and you're often able to pay the white-blue not hidden mode, but extra mode on it, and 5 damage for 4 mana, not bad. It's just some extra removal in there. Also, we got Opt, which with Whirlwind of Thought, you pay 1 mana at instant speed and you draw 2 cards and you discard 1 as well. So it feels really good to play Opt after you play Whirlwind of Thought. You haven't lived until you've just like chained them together. It's awesome. And then Lava Coil is here for some more just efficient removal. I wish it was an instant, but hey, they got to balance the cards somehow. Deafening Clarion. I could consider even going up to 4 copies of this because it's just been very good. Both modes. I mean, obviously you want the board wipe effect the most, but I've like gotten a big Sprite Dragon board wiped with Deafening Clarion and given it lifelink to gain some life back, so that's been good. What haven't I talked about? Well, yeah, also Time Wipe is more hard removal. It'll save the Sprite Dragon and then kill everything else, which is pretty useful. And I wanted to have like a couple hard board wipes just in case something gets too big for Deafening Clarion to handle, so that's nice. Yeah, just going on to the mana base, 3 of each basic, got 4 of each Shockland, and 3 of the Raugrin Triomes. I do have 1 more wild card. I have 2 rare wild cards. I could spend 1 on a Raugrin Triome, but I don't want to go too low on the basics because they are useful in certain situations. And I never find myself wanting to cycle the land. I usually just always want more and more mana in this deck because you're drawing so many cards and you want the mana to cast it. I do like this because it fixes you for every color that you need, so may consider going up one of these. And yeah, Sprite Ultimatum is a ton of fun to play and just gets everything. Plus you can play at an instant speed if you +1 to Fairy, which they never really see coming. So yeah, that's basically my Jeskai Narset deck. I might play it later against some people and I might record that, so just stay tuned for that. Whirlwind of Thought is just such a fun card to build around. It is really just a blast. Almost any card you play in this deck, minus 5 copies of these creatures, triggers it, because you know Planeswalkers are non-creatures, instant sorceries non-creatures. Yeah, so this deck is just basically built to maximize the potential of Whirlwind of Thought, and you're often way out drawing your opponents, and it's awesome. And if you like drawing cards, this is totally the deck for you. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.